I bring you coasting alive. I'm free.
I was at the screening last night that we co-hosted with Collider. Getting to experience this movie in like an energy-filled atmosphere is the exact way to experience it. I wanted to ask you though, I had a revelation in the Q&A about you after the fact that you live in the UK, of course. Yeah. So I assume you have a lot of these lengthy flights. Your first flight you took as a passenger after filming this movie, did it feel at all different after the experience you went through on the set?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the first time after I read this script, I took a long haul flight and had a very interesting experience where I was just looking at I was looking at everything around me and trying to figure out what I could use to defend myself or kill somebody. That was it. And I think I spent, the first couple hours just checking out the plane. Like, what can you do with this? What can you do with that? Because we did some rewrites to make this the film that it is. And so yeah, it happened to me earlier on when I first read the script. That's when I started to my mind started to take in all the options in a flight situation. Yeah,
I like that you're back in the action mindset too, because it also shocked me that you hadn't done your own stunts since like your late 20s. You said it.
Bunraku was the last time I was asked to do a lot of stunts.
Wow. So
that's 29 years old.
Amazing. Yeah. So that first day back, when you're doing that kind of stunt choreography, I imagine most days on the fighter flights that you're doing some sort of physicality. Was there any type of like getting back used to it, or did it feel like just riding a bike again?
No, I mean, I was a completely different physical animal. I was 45. Between 29 and 45, a lot changes, and I didn't expect it to. So in the lead up to the film, I was doing all the prep work and a lot of MMA training and boxing and stuff like that, and was feeling pretty good about myself. And then the first time I got like thrown across the plane and like hit my head on something, I was like, ooh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt for a few days. And I didn't expect that. But we only had like about 25 days to shoot the whole thing. So there wasn't enough time to like worry about recovery. It just had to keep going. And we had a masseuse on set who was taking care of all of us and all of our bumps and bruises. And he saved the movie, really. If he hadn't come and like kind of cracked our necks back into place occasionally, we weren't gonna finish the day. So big shout out to our masseuse on set.
Josh, something I love about this movie too, and even just you speaking about, a 25-day shoot, doing your own stunts, the budgetary constraints that you guys had, you mentioned that at the Q&A. This is such an indie film, and I think it's such an accomplishment, especially in today's day and age. You've spoken at length too about your kind of decision to kind of take a step back from Hollywood and do more films like this. Yeah. I'm curious from your perspective as someone who's worked on films like this for the majority of this half of your career, how have you noticed independent film evolving with, theaters changing, the boom of streaming, different budgets, all that kind of stuff? From an actor's perspective, how have you seen the evolution take place?
It's very hard to get an independent film through to a general audience. It's always been difficult, but I think it's harder now than it was when I first started. And there are fewer of them being made. And even this, we knew that there were all the elements that would make it an incredibly entertaining film, but we didn't know when we made it if it would get a theatrical release. We just knew that we hadn't seen a film like this in a long time, if ever. And it was our opportunity to make something that, if we didn't do it, this wasn't going to happen. There's not like a lot of films like this being made. So my hope is that by putting out original content like this and Trap, ideas that are coming just from filmmakers' heads, and if they're successful enough, more of these things will be made, and we won't have to rely on IP as much. I always respond to an original story, so that's just where I come from, and so it was necessary that I was going to do independent films for a lot of my career. And I would like to continue to be able to make original films. So it just depends on if an audience is here for it or not. So if an audience shows up to this, then we can make another one.
Yeah, it's a special movie. I love hearing your perspective on it. And I hope audiences flock out to this one. Because like I said, this is meant to be seen in the theater. That energy is real. They're giving me the rap cue, Josh. I could talk to you for hours about this movie. Hopefully another time. Thank you again for your time today.
Thank you.